It's not a incredibly long process because we don't have a whole lot of varied things for it. Um, Everything is due 10:45 by Wednesday night, this Wednesday. If you get your stuff done, you're finished. You don't need to come back on Wednesday, or you don't need to stay for the whole class. Okay? Just make sure anything you want graded is turned into either the turn-in folder or whichever folder by that time. I'm not going to go through each individual piece because the process is the same regardless of how many pieces you have or how few pieces you have. All you're doing is you're bringing in your movies or your sequences or whatever and putting them all into one big master composition. So I'm just going to grab some random pieces I have here. Not that one, that's a different one. Samples there. And remember, if it's a sequence, you'll click Open Sequence. You don't have to do the HDR. You can ignore that one. You can throw it in if you want. There's not really much to show. It's just that still image. So everything else should be a video. All right. So imagine this is 100 items. It doesn't matter. 50 items, 2 items, whatever. You grab them in the order you want. You drag them to the new composition. You say sequence. Ignore the use dimensions from. If you do have a still, you can type in 2 seconds and it'll automatically resize it. And then After Effects automatically puts them in the order you selected, one right after the other. You don't have to do transitions. This is not a demo reel you would send out to the world to show people. This is simply a way for me to go through as I'm grading stuff and say, I don't have a grade for this. It is in your demo reel. Maybe I missed it. Then I can go look up those original files. Okay. And then obviously next semester I show stuff off. Some things may happen. This is like a 3D render, so typically we're not going to have this. Sometimes you will, but I'm missing part of the image. In After Effects, it'll automatically subtract the background. So I'm going to go into this one and say Interpret Footage Main, ignore it. Come on. And then I'll go to the other one because I know that one does it too. Interpret Footage Main, ignore that. I'll go to my composition settings, make sure this is 960 by 540. There we go. And then anything that's not sized correctly, I just hit the S key inside of After Effects and then resize it so that it does fit. Make sure everything works. Make sure you're previewing your stuff. And then render it out just like a regular movie. That's it. It is the monster. I didn't kill it. I know, it's so sad. So that's it. So that's your demo reel. Make sure you label it with your name. Make sure you save it as the correct format. Make sure you put the class number on there so I know which class this is for. If you have me for multiple classes, I think only 1 or 2 people do, you can bunch those into one demo reel if you want to. That's fine too. And then that's it. We're done for the semester. If you're graduating, awesome. If you're coming back next semester, this class really doesn't lead into anything specific. This is kind of like a top class. Usually people will take portfolio after this. If you have taken portfolio, add to your portfolio. If you're graduating, still work on stuff. You're never going to be done working on this stuff in the industry, so it doesn't matter where you are right now. You have to keep improving. It is just as likely that you will get a job as you will not get a job. If you don't work on stuff, your chances of not getting a job are definitely more likely. Just to give you an example of some of the past MACA students, I have to go over to this window.